Let's see. Hi guys. Hey y'all. Okay, so it's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm a little hyped because I just saw Rihanna. And I'm like, I'm not one to, you know, chime in on anybody's weight or anything like that. But at the same time, I'm like, is this baby number 2? I was waiting on her to kind of rip that thing off, honey, and show, you know, a little Beyonce moment, love on top moment. But I don't know, she didn't do it, so it very well could be baby weight or who knows. But I don't know, I'm a little hyped because of that. But anyway, all right. So I'm gonna talk about feeling like the oddball and having, I don't know, awkward black girl syndrome. I don't know. I don't want to give it a label, but you know. I don't know. Am I too hyped for this video? Like what? Okay. Anyway, goodbye. All right. So I have my diary in front of me because this is a video diary, but I do try to put my notes down because, honey, I will get to rambling like I'm doing now. So I try to put down little points of what I want to talk about or what I want to hit on. So that's why my little notebook is here. So yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's start with childhood and what it was like growing up. Okay. So on my mom's side, I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. My sister's 5 years older than me, and my brother's almost 6 really, and my brother's 8 years older than me. So kind of right off the bat, there's an obvious difference. You know what I'm saying? We can't really relate to each other or anything, and I like this cartoon and they're out of the whole cartoon. You know, it's an age gap. There's differences. So right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I don't really fit here. I don't know, I just couldn't relate to them for a long time, really until I hit my 20s. On my dad's side, I have 2 biological siblings, and then I had a 3rd stepbrother. Already there, you know, I'm this, you know, the stepchild. And I felt like the stepchild, not because, I'm not saying that I was treated badly or anything, but felt like the stepchild because, one, I don't live in that same household as them, so I'm only coming around maybe on the weekends, every other weekend, something like that. So there's a difference there, and I'm kind of skating around it, but I have to tell things from my perspective, and I made that commitment to myself, so that's what I'm gonna do. I felt a lot of comparison between me and another one of my siblings, so I always felt I didn't fit there either, you know. Compare me to their, you know, their size versus my size, how much they like school versus how much I like school. It's, you know, just didn't feel good normally. Okay, didn't necessarily feel good being around them. Okay, love my siblings. We definitely had fun. I wasn't mistreated or anything like that, but again, I felt like the oddball there. All right, so let's move on to cousins. Love all my cousins. All of them are beautiful, kind-hearted. But specifically, there were to female cousins that I had that I was really close to growing up. Really four total, but you know, the two that I'm talking about. We were around the same age. You know, we just got along. We just had a lot of fun together. So there were small differences there, but you know, it is what it is. It didn't really bother me until I started noticing things like this. But they lived in the same general area. Now I live kind of on the other side of the town, which is fine. So there's that difference, but and I'll mention that in a little bit, kind of make it make sense. But making sure that it's coming in here, honey. I heard the door. Okay. The main thing I wanted to touch on with my cousins was, so they had this girl group growing up, and the girl group had 4 original members, like, you know, 4 original members, and it was 3 of them in the group, and then they didn't have a 4th one. All right. Where I'm going with this is, I've definitely felt left out. I'm not sure what adults were or were not involved, so I'm not blaming anybody or saying that it was intentional, but I definitely felt left out there. As a child, when you're left out, and the way it was, again, it's an original group of 4, and it was 3 of them, so I was like, well, it would have made sense to have a 4th member, you know, whatever. As a child, your brain is like, okay, well, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not cool enough, or I don't know, you know, thoughts like that. As a child, your thoughts are not usually as complex as, you know, they are today, but I rationalized it as, okay, well, maybe I don't fit here, maybe I'm not as close to them as I thought, you know, things like that. I don't know. Again, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that it was intentional or that I'm the victim in this situation. Just kind of, you know, telling things from my perspective and kind of the timeline of how they happened. Also, as we got older, I was close to them and another one of my cousins, and we stopped seeing each other as much. Yeah, we seen each other as much, and like I said, they lived in the same general area, and I didn't, so it was more convenient for them to be together than it was me. And then on the other side, my cousins were a little bit younger. We hung out, and then once I hit maybe like middle school, there was a separation there too. All right, school. So in elementary school, I don't know. I'm so giddy. Okay, elementary school. I was placed in gifted classes, and gifted classes, it's supposed to, my understanding as a child was gifted means that you're smarter or you're more advanced than your peers, right? So I remember getting into classes, going to the like gifted classes. Now in elementary, gifted class was like, you may be there maybe like a couple of hours, and then you went back with your peers, right? Which was, you know, cool. Like I felt honored to be in it. I felt, you know, different, you know, special, different, advanced, whatever you want to call it. I felt that. I took pride in it for a little bit. And then I'm starting to get into the classes, and we're starting to do, you know, the work and stuff. And I'm like, and it's not that I couldn't keep up, especially in elementary school. I had good grades, but I noticed that, again, there's this expectation of you're supposed to be smarter or more advanced, and I didn't feel any of that. You know what I'm saying? Honored to be here, but I don't feel any of that, okay? I don't feel any of that, okay? So, ooh, girl, my lash. It's catching my glasses. I feel honored to be here, but I don't feel smarter or advanced. So there's kind of a label that comes with being gifted, and I didn't feel that I fit that. I just felt like the oddball in my classes. I remember there being a riddle, and he solved the riddle for us. Our teacher solved the riddle for us, and I remember being in there like, what? Like, I never would have came up with that. Get me up out of here. Get me up out of here. Continue to do well in elementary school. The thing is, I think gifted is... So I wanted to point out the reason I was placed in gifted classes. So I was in, I think, baby kindergarten, and they said that I was finishing my work before my classmates, right? So that's when I was recommended to get tested for the gifted program, and they placed me in it. I guess the rationale is you're finishing your work faster, so you need to be challenged or have more work. I don't know. But anyway, when I get something, I get it. When I don't, I just really don't. So I don't regret the recommendation, but at the same time, I just don't feel like it was the best fit for what I had going on. To this day, I feel like I have ADHD, and I think that's the reason I was finishing my work, and I don't know if I was twiddling my thumbs or I don't know. Apparently, they could tell I was bored, but to this day, I hate being bored. So I mean, I don't know. Keep watching the video. I feel like we're all kind of lumped together, and just because I was different didn't mean that I was better, or just because I was different didn't mean that I was worse. Different is just different, and different is okay, but I didn't feel like I fit there. My peers were definitely academically like amazing, like great, very intellectual, and me, I just felt like when I get something, I get it, and when I don't, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I think different, not smarter or not advanced. I just think different. Okay. So in middle school, I noticed like trying to make other friends. Middle school, our elementary schools were kind of separate, but we live in a small town, so our middle school is just everybody. All four elementary schools kind of lumped together. So in middle school, that means more people, more chances to meet friends. And I felt like being gifted there, I was kind of labeled as this with the smart kids. And I didn't really fit in with my peers there. We had completely separate classes at that point. And going around like my classmates, I felt like they automatically thought that I was like better, or I thought I was better, or I thought I was smarter, and it wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that, baby. Like I'm just trying to survive out here. I'm just trying to survive. Like I'm keeping up. Please keep down. I'm keeping up with my grades. If I didn't keep up with my grades, they would have kept me in the gifted program. But I'm not excelling like my peers. Like they're getting all A's on everything. They're getting everything quickly. They come in wanting to talk about the homework. No, I'm not interested in none of that. Okay. I don't know. Before I start rambling, let me go ahead and move on to high school. High school's all right. Still holding my own in AP. Not excelling, just holding my own, you know. One thing that I really struggled with was math. Oh my God. Shout out to Miss Secondhauer, honey, because I really struggled with math. Again, like I said earlier, I'm someone that really, like when I get something, I really get it. When I don't, I don't. Math is not something that you can understand the background of, for me anyway, the way that I think. Math is because it just is. You know what I mean? Like 2 plus 2 is 4 because 2 plus 2 is 4. There's not any background reasoning behind it. So even when I went to take the SAT, all of my peers are like passing it first try. I almost passed it, honey, but that math, no ma'am. I ended up finding an article about how the SAT works and how they phrase the questions, and then I passed it after that. But it's like I have to understand the background of things, the reasoning for things, like the why. I have to know that in order to completely get it. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the social factors of not feeling like I fit in, or feeling like an oddball or weirdo, awful black, or whatever you want to call it. I don't really like the labels, but whatever. All right. I'm a little nervous about this part because I don't want to offend anybody. But listen, I grew up in North Georgia. I'm black. I'm black. I'm dark skinned. I'm a female, and I'm fat. And I'm not rich. So automatically it's like, girl, go on. Girl, go on. Like, the area is predominantly white. I feel like the ideal woman or ideal girl in that area is white, petite, thin, blonde hair, light eyes. Or she can be olive skin, brunette, still with some type of light eyes or cool eyes, I guess. I don't know. But she's supposed to look exotic in order to be kind of desirable. And I was none of that. I remember, I'm not sure if I'm the only person that says this or that grew up thinking this, but I remember going to like my friends' parties, or just being in classes and being like, I'm the only spot in here. the only spot. Like, surely you get it. I don't know. I don't think that's offensive. I'm trying not to be offensive. Because it's really not one of my parties. I'm just trying to tell things from my perspective, okay? I remember going to a party that I was invited to now, and thinking that they were my friends, right? And I got there, and then another girl comes in, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm here for the party." Like, I'm here for the party. And she's like, "Oh, okay." You get what I'm saying? So then I was kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? Like the way she said it and the way she was looking, and she was genuinely curious. Like, what are you doing here? Like, oh, what a coincidence that you would be here. And even though I was invited, I definitely felt like, okay, maybe I should leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, just drop my gift off and leave. Like, it was odd to hang out with me outside of school. I don't know. I was definitely, in that case, the only spot in the room. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say that. I've only had 2 friends at any given point in time in life. And I say, like, I was friends with my classmates, but when I think of friends, especially in terms of school, if we don't hang out, if we don't text each other outside of this environment, we're not friends. We're associates that are cordial. You know what I'm saying? Like, we cool with each other, but we're not friends. So, just to kind of clear that up. Never had more than 2 friends in life. I've never fell out with a friend before. We just kind of grow apart, which is, okay. But I've just always felt awkward, or like I don't fit in some type of way. In college, I got to figure out what was really me versus what was how I felt I should act, or how I felt I should be, I guess. Freshman year, I got these new friends. There were these 2 girls that lived in the same hall, and they were roommates, and I definitely had to figure out what a friend was and what a friend wasn't. Not saying that they were bad to me or that they were malicious or anything, but I remember being like, why don't y'all, like, y'all text each other, why don't y'all text me or whatever? And just genuinely asking. And I remember them looking at me like, like, what? They were roommates too, but I didn't take offense. I was just asking, you know, and I just remember the look on their faces, and I was like, okay, they're not friends, or they're not trying to be friends. And I had a car and they didn't, so I also felt like, am I being used? Like, hold up. Hold up. So I definitely distanced myself from them, and I eventually moved in with a real friend, and that was cool. We still talk every now and then, just, you know, grew apart. That's fine. But after freshman year, I began heavily dating my husband, and that was the first place that I kind of felt that I fit somewhere, you know. Like, he gets my jokes, I get his jokes, and I don't have those background thoughts of, okay, am I saying the right thing, or am I being weird, or could that be taken the wrong way? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have those concerns or feelings like that. I just was. Like, he was definitely my safe space, and like, we were just truly best friends, and I can just be, just be. You know what I mean? And I say that, ooh, I don't want this to be one of those things where it's like a man saved me. That's not what I'm saying. I had to do that work on my own, okay? But he's definitely proof that spaces can be safe and you can be yourself. That you can be yourself and be accepted, okay? I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to share that. It was just kind of on me to share. Maybe it'll help somebody or give them perspective. But the moral of my story, I guess, is to be yourself. There's definitely power in your. There's definitely power in knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Okay. There's definitely power in also being vulnerable. Like, I'm completely an open book. Like, if you tell me how I feel about something, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Why is there power in being vulnerable, or how? Because a lot of people, I know Cardi says, I don't cry in front of people, I'm a gangster. Like, you can still be a gangster, but there's so much power in knowing what your feelings are, knowing what your stance is, and being vulnerable, okay? Because once you know how you truly feel, nobody can use your emotions against you. Nobody can twist how you feel. You own your, I'm not trying to cuss. You own your stuff. You own your feelings. You are you. And that's okay. Okay? Like, you know, at this point in life, for sure, I understand that I don't fit everywhere, or I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. That's okay. What's funny is, I grew up feeling, like an oddball, like, I guess I'm not good enough. I don't know. That seems a little too. Like, I've always been confident in myself or how I look to an extent, but, you know, just not feeling good enough or cool enough, or I don't know. And then I come down here where my husband is, and it's like people, I guess, they think I'm bougie, or that I think I'm too good, or I don't know. It's just odd. So I'm like, I think I'm down to earth, but I come down here and it's like, that's not people's perception of me. Again, but at the end of the day, I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. That's actually a good thing, okay? And at the end of the day, I'm me, and I'm completely happy with the woman that I came to be. I'm grateful for the things that I've been through, the good and the bad, because I'm like, without that, where would I be? You know what I mean? But it's just on my heart to kind of share that today. I gotta get more comfortable in front of the camera for my little video diary, honey, because I know I've been looking at my notes and just off. But I'm talking to you, but, you know, I'm trying to get my thoughts together and kind of keep everything more organized. But if you see this, I hope you're having a good day, a good week. If you're not, I hope it gets better. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Love you. Bye-bye. Bye.